everyone, welcome to Arthral Studio. This is Anuja and today we are going to talk about our Cheriyal painting. We have already done this drawing in our previous video. If you have not visited, I wish you visit it so that you can get some help in the drawing and why it is and how it is done. Now today, here the border, we will be doing the painting process and what colors and themes to take in when you are doing a Cheriyal painting. So here using yellow and a little bit of brown, which is the burnt sienna, I am doing the border. With a steady hand, we have to work on ourselves with a beautiful straight line. I'll show you here. You may do it with a thinner brush. You may also change to a broader brush wherein you can do just one line. I'll show you here. It's the thicker brush and that's how we can go to the smooth finish. Rework yourself and avoid any uneven strokes. Likewise, I will be doing the whole border and the areas in the middle of the painting where I want to show the metal. So this is the seat where the king and the queen is sitting. So all the proportions and the drawings that are very important to be considered in different art forms, they have a different style. To get the style of the painting, check the video where we did the drawing part. I'm doing these borders with this shade of yellow, which is lemon yellow and brown. Work yourself to the base. I am just applying the simple flat shade of it. Later there is a lot of detailing and contrast, line details and shade work also, which we will further discuss. So keep watching. Here on the border, in Cheriyal paintings we see that we don't have a lot many options in the border. They are very simple and flowy. They are floral and not very geometric. So the maximum floral that we get is a one dotted flower and with some free flowing lines connecting it. There are very limited shades that we use: yellow, browns, white, red, green and blue, and of course black. So these thin lines just as a connecting and a flowy floral pattern. I will be doing the whole border likewise. Though while I was drawing the I was doing it with a waterproof pen, but here you will always see the difference of a pen over the brush. When we do the lines with brush, it is always bolder and catches more contrast. You can also make it thin or thick depending on the pressure that you put on the brush. These are the long curtain panels and I am taking a green shade to do it. In Cheriyal paintings, the backgrounds is mostly red. Even if it is in the outside, we do not do the blue skies or other things. Fields are often shown in greens. Ground is shown in brown sometimes. But yes, other than that, all the background is red. Few of the details of the jewelry and the dress that I will show, more gaudy and more glittery. We will be using no metallic colors but just the yellow. In this yellow, I have not mixed brown. It is just medium yellow. You may use medium yellow or chrome yellow to do this. Dilute the color and with just one run of your brush you can fill it up. To avoid your lines in acrylic paint, dilute it to a good consistency and then just flood the color in. So not much sweeping while you are doing it on the paper. You may also use poster colors. Here, as I told, the background will be red. Here I've already done red. This is the back of the seat, and I am doing it with blue. You may choose your colors, whichever contrast you want it to be. It could be green, it could be yellow, it could be brown, any color of your choice you can do. I want it to be really bright because it is the setting of a court where the king and the queen are over a discussion. Probably that is what we can sense from this picture. Once your painter dries, it will all show even. You can rework yourself to eliminate any uneven strokes. So here, first stroke I'm showing you, it's like this. Then you have to just dip and cover up all the details, all the lines that are showing, and then you'll get a smooth finish. So while for the background you are just filling the color, many of those who practice have commented that they do not get very fine texture. They get lines a lot. So my advice is that once you do the paint, the consistency of the paint you should check. It should be even. So you should not make it into a lot many batches. Try to judge the area you are doing and make it in one go. And do not take a very thin and pointed brush to do. So for a broader area, you must take a flatter brush to cover up those areas. And if need be, you can do another coat to eliminate any lines. Here my bases are kind of rough and I have filled in. Later I'll be doing a little bit of rework on it. Here on the hand, I'm just doing a little diluted color with the sienna, which is the brown color, to show the shade. The figures that we do are mainly in Cheriyal paintings. The figures that we do are mainly white, sometimes pinkish tone for the face, browns, and sometimes, very rarely, but gray. So these are the colors that are done for the skin. Here I want it's, as it is a very big royalty over here, we just want it a little yellowish tone. The shade work is not seen much, but I'm giving a little side line with a burnt sienna mixed with lots of water so that I can see the transparency of the color and I can see the other color down there. Little white highlights for where the light is striking. You may not blend, just one line and that should be good enough. Make a nose a little pointed and big. And this is almost how the face is going to look like. We will go to the dress. As I said, there is a very limited palette that the color choice we do, but still all those colors that I have named, red, green, blue, brown, black, they all can be diluted or they can be mixed with white, which was actually used as the zinc oxide. That color was used primarily. So they can be used to give the tonal value or the light and the dark shades. Here I've added white and a very little bit of crimson to get this pinkish color. So this is the base color. There is a lot of details in line patterns and the dots or whatever print you want to give it to the dress. A little more crimson that will add to the line. And this crimson is not very thick, it's still just a little bit more than what I did for the base, not to give it a very high contrast, but yes, the the print or the line pattern, whatever, it should be obvious. We can do further details on the pallu, on the sari, on the motifs of the dress. Generally, what motifs we see is the dot pattern, checks, lines, or wavy patterns. There are not many floral or very highly intricate values we do not add, as Cheriyal painting is a very simple art and very bright and colorful. So the main catch of this painting is that it is very bright and colorful, and initially it was a scroll painting, but now people have started making these smaller paintings to brighten up their house, as they depict a lot many things from the culture of the place. A green blouse over here. I will be doing the detailing with the same. I often, when you will see these paintings, you can also choose the motifs for a different color. Suppose a pink sari with a white or a black dot will also do. Generally, I take up light and the dark of the same color. So here the blouse is green, and then I'm taking a little bit blue plus green to make these lines. Some jewelry in the matching with the matching colors. Later we will be adding a lot of further details on it. This is the red color that often ladies apply on their hands and the feet. This is called alta in Hindi, or mahavar, whatever the region says it as. Now there is a very good trick that I would want to share here is, while I do the picture, I often do a little background with the outline. So you will see that the background is blue, but I'm taking a darker shade of blue to fill in the outline, which is very thick, to give it a little shade, and this brings a focus. This brings the focus to the picture and brightness to the main element where you want it to be. Giving details with white. These white dots bring beautiful effects to the picture. They are very limited things that we can do as per jewelry also. Most of them are in circular form, in bands, and then decorated with white beads. Some wavy patterns, check patterns, dot patterns, and that's pretty much. Here are the tassels. I'm taking brown to give it some definition. For the king's dress now, I have taken the blue plus a red, which is giving me a little mauve shade, a purple shade of purple, and then I will be doing few areas in dark and light. You will see that the top leg, that's the leg on the top, is getting a lighter shade. I mixed a little white so that it's just the sense of the light and the depth. So the light falls on the something that is higher, and so this leg gets a lighter shade, and the one which is at the bottom gets a darker shade. So the same color, just adding a little tone. This is the base color, and you need not to be very worried about this. Just do it later. So many lines and patterns will come, and it will cover up all in harmony. Add few lines for the folds. Generally, this kind of a dress that is worn is not a sari, it's a dhoti, and not necessarily in white color. We get it in many colors. So there is no limitation as to what a male or a female would wear. Color in colors. Generally, when we make the males, we see that their head is covered with a cloth, turban or a safa or whatever the cloth is tied on the head, and there is a dhoti that is wrapped around the legs, but the body on the top is often bare. For the royalties, they would be wearing some shawl or a cloth on it which is loose, unstitched cloth. So here I'm doing this cloth with light blue. White plus a little bit of cerulean blue will give you this color. Taking again, following the same method as we did for the sari, for a crimson and white, I'm doing it with the cerulean blue here. Just adding a few more lines to give it a more value and a contrast. It is just the aesthetics. It is how you like your picture to be. You can make it. If you want it flat, definitely you can make it flat also. This is the big question, and I did it the base with orange, and now I'm making the lines with white. While you are making your paintings, you can also use your acrylic tube colors or acrylic bottled colors. They are all okay. Just you have to mix a little bit of water to get the consistency right, wherein you will not have either chunks of paint or it won't be too runny or transparent. Because basically most of the paintings or the folk paintings of India or the traditional paintings of India have a lot of line based work. So here as well, a little red to give the lines. Those red and the greens are often seen as the gems in the jewelry. So this is the green. So some part of the yellow depicts the metal. These red and green dots are the gems, and some white dots are the pearls. So those are all very symbolic. We do not see a very 3D kind. One dot represents a pearl. That is how the garlands and the jewelry and how the lady has put on all this. Earrings are worn by both males and females. The nose rings are only confined to females. So here, coming back to the crown, I'm creating few lines. So lines, dots, and you have to rearrange all those things in your own way. You can add little bit of patterns of the flowers and the leaves as well, but not too flowy. So we do not, so when we talk about, there are so many questions about how is it different from Pattachitra. Pattachitra is very flowy and it has lot of parsley shapes, lots of veins and veils, lots of curves, whereas this doesn't have. So it is just the level of intricacy. There are few similarities also depending on the color of the skin, the formation of the face. They both are very circular, but then apart from that, there are a lot of differences in it. So here with the maroon color, I'm making few lines and just go on and on with the details and satisfy yourself where you feel happy about liking your work, be it less or more. If you want to add more details, your wish. If you want to eliminate few, your wish. You can adjust your design according to your wish. Here for the big curtains, I'm adding the folds, not with the shades but just the line. I'm taking blue to do it. And just with these lines, I will create the folds. Whenever these twists are there or the folds are there, they will get the gatherings on the curtain. Just with the using the back of the brush, I'm making these circles. You can also use it from the front, or you can also use it from any of the dotting tools. Depends what is your comfort. Adding few red dots to give it the flower. This is the print of the cloth. Now this color what I have chosen is the maroon color, and this is the chhatra or the cover of the seat that is often seen when we make gods and goddesses or the courts and kings. It is always covering the head. Even if we do the horses and the elephants, we see that there is a cover on the top, which is often shown in yellow because it is of metal. So this maroon, I chose maroon over red because the red is already the background, and you'll see how maroon stands against this. You can add more design or less. Here I did this chhatra, and I'm adding the same maroon to give the outline to the whole seat. You may draw all the details. Here I'm doing few in freehand. This is a twisted pattern of the seat, the metal. So it's a loose S and it looks like twisted. Do not press your brush while you are doing thin lines because then it'll go flat. You have to just use the tip of the brush and work yourself to create the thinner lines. You have to revisit while these details while your base is dry. Only then you can go and do the line work. Otherwise, if you are doing wet base and wet lines, then it will be wet over wet and it will blend. You don't want any blending to happen. I did all the details like this, and the picture came out like this, and I hope you like it. If you like it, press the like button, do share your comments, and if you have not subscribed, do subscribe the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you with my next tutorial. Bye bye. Take care.